stop, stop. That's it? Yeah? So you understand now how it works?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastico, look at that.
Look at this one.
It's the end of the school year at Lillian Baylis, and just 4 weeks before they find out the all-important GCSE results. And as with any school, there are a number of farewells. Gary's losing his trusted deputy, Andrew Marsh, after a decade together. As a former head of English and head of pastoral, he's become increasingly convinced of the importance of children's social and emotional learning.
We've brought in a new integrated humanities course, and part of that is implementing the government's SEALS agenda. And part of the SEALS agenda is it's an old idea from primary school, actually, called circle time. Teachers are facilitators, they're members of the circle, and children are encouraged to talk, students are encouraged to talk about things that are concerning them and that they're particularly concerned about, that they want to talk about, and encouraged to relate to each other through words and through feelings.
You join a gang because usually it's in the community that you grow up in. If you move somewhere like Croydon or somewhere in the countryside or like Essex or somewhere like that, I know there's bad crimes there, but not like, if you move somewhere like that, yeah, then and maybe where the estate's a little bit better, maybe you won't grow up into a gang, you might grow up into do something different. But if everyone's around you, alcoholics, druggies and things like that, I think you're just gonna turn bad. Like you're just gonna. You don't see beyond your things. You just see what's around you, not beyond your capabilities.
OK, so trumpet, can I hear you play your me, please? So you want first...
Head of music, Michelle Jacks, is leaving too.
Excellent, thank you, Fabio. OK, thank you very much. I actually feel like I've done as much as I can do now. I don't feel like I can do any more. OK. It's been a hard slog. It's been really, really difficult. It's probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. OK, thank you. OK, excellent.
All heads are under pressure to bring home the bacon, aren't they, to get there? I mean, our floor target next year is 35% 5 or more A to Cs. But I think what convinced him is that, you know, the studies have shown, and I convinced him myself, that emotionally intelligent and emotionally literate children are far more likely to succeed academically as children who haven't had this input and who haven't had their affective intelligence nurtured and developed.
Stopping a few gangs, yeah, it might just help the community, but there's still going to be gangs all around and things like that. So I don't think there's really a point in trying to stop them. You can avoid them. You don't have to join the gangs, yeah, but to stop them is something different.
We are seeing some results in terms of a decrease in the number of children behaving badly about the school in the corridors, resorting to fists, having arguments, shouting at each other. There is a noticeable difference in the numbers of those incidents decreasing.
Me, Ray, me. We've got an instrumental teaching programme. Students have to come out of lessons, you know, for 20 minutes once a week. And occasionally they might have to come out of maths, English or science, and that causes problems. It causes problems for me, and it causes... The students are often, like, you know, not allowed to come out for that reason. And that's been a constant battle over the last 3 years. Do you think you can demonstrate me, Ray, for us, please? Me, Ray, me, Ray, me. Good, carry on. Because of that kind of push for our targets and because of the emphasis on those subjects, it's a bit like, well, no, you can't come out for your violin lesson because this is English, and English is much more important than music.
All 4 of our staff colleagues here in the last few years have done something to help transform this school. Miss Jackson in music, Miss Kendall in humanities and citizenship, and Mr Curry by taking on the new role of achievement coordinator. Mr Marsh as deputy head. I'd like you just to give them 3 cheers and then wait for them in reception. They'll be in reception to say goodbye. Hip hip.
We know that music helps kids achieve. It helps students work better and learn better. And I think Michelle really understood that. And 3 years ago, she set about doing something about it. What the secret of her success is, she gets kids interested in music, and when she encourages them on the stage, or when she joins in plonking away on the xylophone or playing her fiddle or singing, she does that in such a way that it's entirely unself-conscious. And she joins in, and the kids recognise that and they appreciate it. And I think that kind of inspiration, you can sort of sense it flowing between the kids and Michelle. And that's why music has been such a raging success over the past 3 years. And I think that's down to you, Michelle. And you'll be a sad loss to the school. Thank you, Michelle, and good luck for the future.
OK, well, everybody knows my first line by now. It's a privilege, on behalf of everybody, to kind of just say a few words on your retirement, Andrew. Many people are jealous of you, obviously. 10 years of working with me and retirement.
They have reason to be, Gary, that, you know...
And they don't know the half of it.
No, they don't know half of it.
So, it's my pleasure and privilege to work with you, and it's been my pleasure and privilege to walk with you over the last 10 years. It is a painting.
I know which one it is.
Yeah.
It isn't, is it?
It is a painting by Howard Hodgson, and it's called Walking with Andrew.
Thank you. I never know what to say until a couple of minutes before I say it, really. So just while Gary was talking, I kind of thought, well, I'll talk about this kid who I knew in 1982, a couple of years after I started to teach. And I was walking through the playground one day, and he kind of just appeared on my field of vision. I was going home, I think. And he said, "Yeah, Marsh, you puffed her." And if whoa, you know, this is 1982, and I thought, well, I've got one of three things I can do. I can put him in detention, or send him to the head of PE who would give him the slipper. There was nothing else I could do with this kid, so it worried me all evening and all the following day. And I had no idea what to do, and maybe that was the birth of my kind of, you know, desire perhaps to sort of move into pastoral, because I was employed as an English teacher. But it just briefly didn't finish there, because the end of the following day, I would dismiss my class, and Darren appeared at the door. And he waved a big key through the glass of the door, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to lock you in." And he did. He bloody well locked me in my classroom. And it doesn't stop there, because he had a screwdriver and he took the handle off the door. And I was trapped in my classroom at 3:30 and everybody was going home. I didn't know what to do. And as these things go, you just kind of forget these things, don't you, when you move on. And I never knew what happened to him until, and this is true, actually, until 1996. And I had a Christmas card. God knows how he got my address. You know. He'd done 15 years for attending murder. This is all in the Christmas card. He said, "Mr. Marsh," he said, "I've got a job with plumbers. I've got one of the little vans. I've got all my City and Guilds. You know, I'm a happy man, Mr. Marsh." And then the last thing was, "I get it now." And that's what he wrote on this Christmas card. And I suppose the reason I'm telling you that story is that something struck me about moral purpose. We could say that whatever Darren did at school, he still remembers what happened to him, and you could say that he ended up doing the right thing. But that's not why I'm telling the story, because for every one that you get in teaching, you lose 10 or 15 or even 100. But what strikes me about teaching is, and why I've been so happy to do it for 30 years, 29 years, actually, it's the only thing that's got the possibility of transforming children's lives. There is nothing else, really. So that's why I've been proud and happy, actually, to do a job that I've loved. I have loved this job for 30 years, for 29 years. And all of you here, you know, I can't thank you enough for keeping me company over the last 10 years. And thank you to Gary, who we have had a rocky road. And, you know, I do thank him very deeply, because most of the time it has worked somehow. God knows how, but it has, you know. So thank you for keeping me company. I do mean that, and I hope that those of you who perhaps have some doubts about teaching don't. It's a great job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
August the 27th. GCSE Results Day. Have they hit the all-important 30% mark?
Hiya, Faisy, it's Gary. How are you?
Don't understand that.
Oh, no! What is that?
Where's that business?
Yes! Oh, my days, this guy tricked me.
Thank God for that.
I'm ringing you up with the numbers now. Do you want to get a bit of paper in front of you? Right, we'll be going off 108. That'll be the validated number. So, with English and Maths is 45 children, which gives you 42%.
To get some decent grades. Via Maths. You got C Mathematics. Did you do foundation or higher?
Without English and Maths is 69 children, which gives you 64%.
Jacobi, 5A Soft.
Best set of results we've ever had, isn't it?
We've got C in English, C in Maths, B in Science. We've got Richmond, here I come.
I'm so pleased, Andrew. I'm relieved.
I can't believe it.
I'm so relieved.
Really well, Sinead.
What's the final percentage for...
55, I believe.
Staggering.
I know, I'm
Fantastic
really
achievement.
pleased.
Well done, Ian.
Well done to you too, because your
Well, the literature-
11s did all right. And
Well, they did,
I haven't
didn't
seen
they?
the literature results
The
yet.
literature results.
You didn't get an A star, did you?
Did you?
Did you get an A star?
Nobody else has not
These are the
greened out.
possibles, and most of them managed to get a C for English, which is just fantastic, because normally these will be Ds.
Yeah, that's what's made the difference, Ian, isn't it?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have 11 GCSE.
Oh, look, Sinead's double A.
Well done, Sinead.
What does this do for you politically?
It stops anybody waving the academy banner near the school for a couple of years, doesn't it? It's... I don't know if we're a national challenge school or... I don't know really what it does. The problem is, if people relax too much, you'll go back down to the shoddy levels it was in the past. And we can all bellyache about the move to 5A to Cs with English and Maths, but what the government will point at is the rising numbers of children who are now getting it. Now they've set it as the one overriding goal. And it's now maintaining that.